Hey everyone, I hope you're having a beautiful day. The Proof Planner has it here, leading intuitive business strategist and women's transformation catalyst. And I love to help women really connect deeply to the truth of who they are and to be able to bring that forward in what they express in this world, in their personal lives, in their business, in their community, you name it, everywhere. So I just wanted to jump in and have a chat about community today. You know, I've shared before that this theme was coming through for me so strongly at the beginning of this year, and it's part of the reason that I started up my monthly meetup events locally. And you know, that's been a really beautiful start, and that all came about as a kind of off the back of what I was seeing with, and here's Jakey. What's up, sweetie? Not yet. 15 minutes. Homeschooling. Yeah, so that really came off the back of what I was seeing with what was happening, you know, with the fires along the east coast of Australia, and there's this massive response and this massive kind of really powerful gathering of community in response to what was coming up and what was happening as a part of, you know, the natural state of things. And, you know, in seeing the community kind of gathering together, I was getting this really strong sense that, you know, I mean, it goes without saying really that the way forward for us is really to have stronger bonds and, you know, this greater sense of community, where what we're used to at the moment is, you know, is kind of a sense of what we have been used to is kind of this sense of, you know, more social isolation, being online, all of this kind of stuff, and almost this sense of false community that comes from, you know, having all these friends online and not necessarily knowing them and all of this kind of stuff. And what I've really been feeling called to more and more is more deeply connecting with my community. So whether that is in communion with myself, in community with my partner and my family, it's really about, for me, just being more present and being more of who I am. So being called to be more of who I am in all of those spaces. I've shared before that in these meetups that I've been holding, that previously I would have, you know, like a year ago or 2 years ago, I would have felt like I needed to really prepare, you know, in a massive way to do something like that. It's a 2-hour event, and it's really, you know, a beautiful women's circle. It's nothing stressful at all, but because there was a gap between how I was showing up in the world and who I was on the inside, I felt like I needed to be more prepared, because I felt like I had to be someone other than who I was in order to be accepted and be okay and all of this kind of stuff. And that's something that I noticed recently going in. So I really wanted to jump in today and have a conversation around community. Like, what is this new level of community that we're building? What does it look like for you? What can you see, and what are you envisioning in the way that we're moving forward? I love for you to let me know in the comments, you know, who you are, where you're viewing from, where in the world, and what community is looking like for you. Are you noticing this sense of pull towards a deeper level of connection and a deeper level of community, both online and offline? Like, obviously we're in a situation at the moment which is, you know, calling for social distancing and things like that for the health and well-being of the community at large. And, you know, I feel like a part of that is a social responsibility, and that is, you know, something that I'm more than happy to adhere to, I guess, and to be a part of the solution, shall we say. So yeah, I'd love to know, community, what does it mean to you? What does it look like? What are you envisioning? Like, are you feeling this call to a greater sense of community and a greater sense of connection? And if so, what does that mean to you? What are you doing about it? What does it look like for you? So one of the things that I am doing is I'm reaching out and having coffee catch-ups with people. So the women that I work with, my friends, other connections online, people who, you know, just invite me to be their friend on Facebook. I'm like, let's get together, let's have a coffee, let's catch up, let's, you know, actually connect and get to know each other and bridge this gap between the internet and the online space. Given that we are in this sense of social isolation, even catching up with family online, you know, if we can get together via Zoom or via Facebook Messenger or whatever, you know, having this sense of closeness when we are perhaps a little bit further apart and when we are perhaps, you know, not encouraged to be seeing each other face to face. It's a great opportunity that we have, and it's one of the beautiful things about the online space and technology is actually having the capacity and the capability to be able to do that. So yeah, I really invite you to consider what you're doing to build community in your space. And you know, if there are people in your network and in your community online or offline who you can want to reach out to and, you know, perhaps have a half-hour coffee date, you know, like it's good for the soul. It's really you know, sometimes as entrepreneurs we can feel like all of the activities that we do have to be moving the needle, you know, towards sales and success and content and, you know, all of this kind of stuff. But really, connection is so crucial, and not just to building relationships and building, you know, community, but to our own sense of energetic well-being, to our own social sense of kind of fulfillment and community and connection. Like, it's incredibly important. So yeah, I'd love to invite you, if you haven't already considered that, or if it's something that you kind of like, oh, I don't know if I can do that because, you know, it's not specifically task oriented or anything like that. I really invite you to reach out to someone and, you know, see if they want to catch up for a cuppa. You know, there might be someone who doesn't have heaps of family, they don't live with their family at the moment, and, you know, they may be feeling an extra level of isolation given this kind of, you know, this stay-at-home kind of thing that's going on at the moment. So it can be a really beautiful thing to do for your community, and that's only going to be a win for everyone involved. So yeah, I'm really curious. Let me know how you feel about community. Let me know what you're doing in your life to feel that building. Let me know what your vision is. You know, what do you see as possible for us, given what's happening in the world right now? What do you see as possible for us going forward in terms of community and connection? Because with anything that appears to be a challenge, there is always undeniable opportunity. And that opportunity is always to elevate somewhere new and somewhere beautiful. So I would love to hear, what are you visioning? What can you see as possible for us? Let us speak into existence what it is that we want to see and what it is that we want to create in this world. So I'm going to share in the comments the link to the event that I'm holding on Sunday. It's going from 10 to 11:30 on Sunday morning, and it's going to be online. So obviously it was going to be offline, and it's going to be online now because, you know, social distancing. And yeah, I would love you to join us. It's just by registration, so it's totally free. It's going to be a divine. The theme is intentional introspection, and it's taking place a couple of days after Marbon, which is the equinox. A divine friend of mine is going to speak on the importance and significance of the Celtic wheel of the year, and specifically this time of year, equinox, and you know, how we can feel even more connected to ourselves and to each other and to the earth, by understanding and you know, accessing the wisdom of this time. So I would love to invite you to that. I'm going to share that. The other thing that I'd love to invite you to is come and join my community, CEO Priestess Activation. It's a divine space with incredible women, and yeah, I just feel so blessed to be able to hold that space and be in such a loving, vibrant, divine community of women. So I'm going to pop that in the comments below as well, a link to that at CEO Priestess Activation. You can look it up right now and ask to join. And if you're a woman and you're amazing, which you will be if you're watching this, then I will approve your request. And the final thing is that if you want to have a coffee with me, if you want to catch up for half an hour for a coffee on Zoom, then I invite you to do that as well. I am deeply feeling this sense of community and love and connection, and you know, it's time for us all to do things a little bit differently, to innovate and to elevate, and to really support each other and support ourselves in the process, because we are all a part of this wider global community. And you know, the internal is a reflection of the external and vice versa. So let's bring healing to the personal. Let's bring soothing and nurturing to the personal and to our local communities, and have that spread and be reflected in our external world. You know, let's focus on what we can do. Let's focus on the actions that we can take, because that is the surest and quickest way to move us out of fear and to move us out of powerlessness, is to take action, even small ones, tiny little baby steps. So so you can find a time to have a chat with me, a half hour if you want. It's ceopriestesschat.com. So come to the event on Sunday, join the group CEO Priestess Activation, and book in a half hour coffee catch up with me. And yeah, let's connect, let's be a part of community, let's build a new world. It's time. I love you all. Thanks for watching, Michelle Gorgeous. I can see everyone watching, but Michelle, you're the only person that I can see. You've said we all need heart space connection. So true. Yeah, absolutely. It's I think we kind of wither and die in isolation. So it's all about beautiful connection with ourselves, with each other, with nature. That's pretty much it. All right. I'm loving you. I'm leaving you. Have a beautiful day. Bye.